Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be giving a quick or not so quick introduction guide to how to make a dynasty in the game Basketball GM, which I've been playing a lot. I'm here showing off I'm 800 years into my reign as the GM for the Detroit Muscle. As you can see, I've had a lot of success here. We have a 73% win rate over 800 years, 410 championship appearances, 334 championships. But for right now, instead of going over a league where I'm already successful, we're going to be making a new league. And so first, let me talk about the difficulty settings that we have here. We'll call this league tutorial. So for me, I'm going to be playing on hard. On normal, I think it's a bit too easy to fleece the AI because the AI doesn't weigh trades enough in its favor. It's pretty easy to find good ones. We're still going to be fleecing the AI. And then the picking your team, you can basically think of this as a second difficulty setting here. For some reason, the drop-down menus aren't showing up. That's weird. But I'll do Seattle. Want to make Seattle basketball good once again. Lived many years in Seattle. And it's going to be pretty difficult. Seattle is a small market in the game. This is going to affect a few things that I'll talk about in just a second. So one of the most important screens is going to be the finances screen here. And here's where you set your ticket prices, your scouting, and everything else. For these, I just immediately set them all to being the first in the league, which I know off the top of my head is 22 and a half. And then we'll be number one. I just set this once and completely forget it. There's this one really important metric in the game, which is called hype, that need to discuss individually. So what hype is how excited your fans are to go to the game. If they're excited to go to the game, they will max out your attendance at an even higher ticket price than you might otherwise have. And to make a lot of money in the game is necessary to not get fired. To make money, you have to have a good team because having a good team makes your fans hype. So we want to get this hype metric up to the maximum, which is 1.0. And to do that, we'll need to have a good team. So let's go over our initial team, the roster that we have here. So we have one really good young player here. So let's go over what the overall are and what the potential is. So overall is going to be how good a player is in each individual game that you play. And if you're used to something like NBA 2K, these ratings might seem awful, but a 68 is pretty good. So basically, if you're at like a 65, that's a really good starter, maybe even an all-star. If you're at a 75 overall, that's probably the MVP of the league. Once you get over 75, you're talking one of the greatest of all time. Like an 85, an 88, I think, in my 800 years is the highest overall that any player has gone to. And then potential is a really interesting one. So what potential is 25% of the time, this player will reach an overall of this potential or better. 75% of the time, they don't get to that. But for young players, you really want to see as high a potential as possible. It's kind of arbitrary, but I kind of set a cutoff of a 70 potential being like a really good young prospect that you want to develop. So we have this guy. Then we have some older players. What happens every year is that the young players are, on average, going to get a few points better. The old players are going to get 2 or 3 points worse every year. And as you can see, for 31-year-olds, they're as good as they're going to get. That's what it means, that their potential is equal to their overall. So we have 2 good starters, a few okay starters, and these guys are pretty much trash. So For the way that the game values trades is really important because we're going to be doing a lot of trades with the AI. Uh, Basically, a player is going to be a positive trade value if they're a young player and their potential is over like 55. 55 is like you could maybe get a second round pick or something for it. Below a 55, they're either like literally ignoring, or and below that, the AI will see it as literally a negative if you add it. So like this guy, Steve Bortz, is literally worthless. I would give this guy away for free. Sorry, Steve. So basically, once you have a player that has an overall of 70 or higher, or a potential of 70 or higher, you don't want to trade that guy. We want to hang on to that guy. The first few years in a league, though, are definitely going to be the most difficult because we haven't built up. We haven't traded for a ton of picks. We don't have a lot of young prospects. I find it easier to go into trade block to view some of this. So if we sort by age here, we see that we have a few older players. If we sort by potential, basically we only have one guy that has like good potential at all. So Chance Braun is definitely going to be our star. So hopefully he turns out well. And then Gary Adams, a 63 potential is like, that's like a mid first round pick caliber prospect, so like not terrible. And then the older guys, the problem here is that they're costing a lot of money, as you can see. So we have like $10 million for this and $14 million for a 59 overall. For a guy that's like not a very good starter, that's more than you want to pay him. The max salary in this game is going to be 30 million. So basically the roster that you want to end up with, you want to have two guys that are your star players and you're paying both of them $30 million a year. And then with the rest of your money, you have the rest of your team for that. And you're probably going to have a lot of young players on rookie contracts, but those add up once you have a lot of them. So these guys that have that are middling, kind of like mid-career players with like 10, 14 million, don't really want them on my team right now. So the way that salary cap works is you can sign players up to $90 million. That's the cap. Once you get to $100 million, you start getting penalized. The league costs you $1 for every dollar that you go over 100 million. And so this is where market size really comes into it, because if you're selling a lot more tickets, or rather you're maxing out your attendance at a higher ticket price, then you're going to be making more money, which means that you can pay people more, pay more players more. You might be asking, well, how can you go over the salary cap if you can't sign people over $90 million? Well, you can't sign players that aren't already on your team, but you can re-sign players. And this comes up a lot. So say you have a ton of young, really good prospects, there's 70 potential or whatever. After their rookie contract, they're each going to want 20, 25, $30 million, but you can't afford to pay 5 players $30 million, you'll get fired. Depending on your market size, you can run year over year anywhere between like 100 to, if you're a mid size, like 120, 125 million. Larger market, like if you're in New York, which is pretty easy, you can go even higher than that. I think Seattle, probably the highest that will sustainably be able to go is like $115 to $120 million a year. So let's check out the free agents, see if there's anything good here. There's not. So we started in preseason, which is after the free agent phase. So as you can see, the best player in terms of potential that we can sign is 53 potential, which is pretty bad. So this guy was probably an undrafted rookie. Yeah, he's an undrafted rookie. So right now, what my plan is, I just want to win games so that I can get my hype up, make money, and then hopefully sign some good free agents next year. In real life, tanking can be a good strategy for your team. In basketball GM, tanking is not such a good strategy because you'll not make any money, and your GM, your owner will hate you, and you'll get fired pretty soon. So basketball GM is pretty realistic in some respects, and one way that it's pretty realistic is that the goal as the manager is to act on behalf of ownership to get as much production from the people doing the actual work for as little money as possible. And the reason that you want to do this, the reason you want to screw over your actual workers, is because you're worried about your own personal jobs, because you don't want to get fired. So you screw over anyone else, just like real life. Okay, so I don't think that I want to make any trades right now. Like maybe I could see trading away Alex Cantil here. But any trade that you make, while it might be good long term, it's going to damage how good my team is right now. And basically you want to win as many games as possible every single year. So if I go into power rankings right now, we're 20th overall. We did not get a very good roll this game, but we'll try to improve upon that next year. So I think I'll just stay with where we are. We do have 2 open roster spots, so maybe I'll just sign 2 of these guys. Yeah, I'll sign the 53 potential just to get one closer. Basically, it's like it's a free roll kind of. Like every now and then, hey, maybe this guy turns out really well. Probably not, but there's low risk. So let's just sim our first season. I expect us to barely make the playoffs or miss the playoffs entirely. So let's stop here. So what we can see here is that our attendance is 25,000. So we want to increase the ticket price as much as possible while keeping max attendance. So we started by default at 48. So let's go up to 52 and we'll see if our attendance falls. Nope, still at max attendance. Let's go up to 55. Sim for a week. Nope, still max attendance. Let's go to 57. Nope, still max attendance, 59. Oh, now our attendance is falling. Okay, what about 50? So we're starting at 24,892. Sim for a week. Seems like this is the most we can do right now. Is our team winning at all? Yeah, we're basically going even. So, just to save time, maybe I could go really, really slow and exactly max this out right now. But I'm just going to sim through the rest of the season. So we're barely missing the playoffs, so we'll get a bad lottery pick probably. Like I thought, Chase Braun is our best player. Made 3rd team all league, but no one else got anything because our team's not very good. So you get 2 free seasons where you can't get fired at the beginning of the year. We got a 14th overall pick. We can try to trade for the number 1 pick. Probably it'll just ask us for Chase, and we don't want to trade Chase. No, so we're not going to trade. So this is a guaranteed good player because he's a 68 overall, 72 potential as a young player. We don't want to trade a 72 potential for a 70 potential. So let's remove him from the trade, say, well, can you give me anything else? This is what the second button does. If I exclude him, what will you get me? So no, he's not willing to trade. Would we trade for a 2nd overall pick? Probably not. If I look at our roster, it's pretty dire beyond Chase, to be honest. So I'll try it. Let's see. No. Oh, give me your best player? No. What if? No. We're not doing that. Okay. With these, I just do and sim for whoever it thinks is the 1st overall. So yeah, this guy doesn't have the highest potential, but he's 6 points overall. So on average, it's going to be a better player than this guy that maybe has a higher high, but a much lower floor. But these ratings in the draft are pretty rough. As soon as you go past the free agent phase, these will update like pretty dramatically, as we'll see. So if we were further along in the game, I wouldn't re-sign these guys and I wouldn't even think twice about it. But we're pretty early on. Maybe I'll re-sign one of these guys. I'm just going to check to see if there's any upcoming free agent that we have a chance with. Let's see. So it's possible that this guy will be willing to sign for our team. So this is why you can't tank. Also, is that the worse your team is, the less likely the less likely free agents are to want to sign with you. So I'm gonna ditch I'm not gonna re-sign any of these guys, and the reason for that is that I'm hoping to get this young dude with a 60 overall, 69 potential. Nice. So I'm just gonna sim through that, and let's see what we got. Will he sign with us? He will sign with us. Okay. So that just means that we need to clear, to sign this guy, I need to clear $20 million in roster space because I have, in a cap space. So I have a little less than 10 million right now, and he's asking for just below the max. So let's see what I can do. So I have this guy who's old, and if I keep him on my team, chances are he'll go to like a 63 or anywhere between a 60 and a 64 overall because he's 31 already. And this guy, like a 29-year-old, that's a 59 overall, making $14 million. I want him the fuck off my team. So let's ask, we'll just ask for trade proposals. Probably we'll get like a second round pick for Alex here, but maybe we can get like a decent young prospect. Oh, wow. Someone's offering us 2 first round picks, but they're over the cap. Actually, multiple teams are offering us 2 first round picks. That's not bad for a 31-year-old. I mean, 66 overall is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Like, that'll win games, but next year it'll be worse, and then probably get like 2 decent years out of this player before he's a bench player. And we want to build for the future. So here's our options. We could trade with the bankers, who are offering us a slightly younger, also very good player, and a pick. But we would have to add in more stuff, and then we would have to trade that guy away. I might actually do that. So I think this is kind of like breaking down a player, where you do multiple trades just to get rid of one player. So it'd be like, trade this guy for a player and a pick, trade that player for a pick and another player, and on and on and on. Or I could just go more direct, and I could go for 2 first round picks here, or 1 first round pick here. So ideally, I want to trade with the worst team possible to get their picks. So let's go with let's negotiate with the Monuments. Say, what else can we do here? Is there anyone else that you could throw in to make up this salary differential here? This guy is like terrible. So this is an actual negative, like a toxic asset, I guess you could say, because he's below 50 overall, old player making millions of dollars. But we can see if we can add him to even up the money. Then, and then, so you don't have to exactly match the salary when you make a trade, but it has to be within 125%. So let's see, so this salary matches. So I'll see, like, can this work? They want, if I say what would make this deal work, which is like, hey, even this up a little bit, they suggest me adding a player, probably means this won't go through. What'll you take for that? 59, and here I'm like really, really min-maxing this. So what about Brandon Jennings? It's not yeah, it's a real player, but fake name. Will you do it for him instead? No, it won't do it for him instead. I mean, giving away a 59 overall for this isn't too bad if I'm getting 2 first round picks. These players that I'm getting are pretty trash, though. I'll be honest. Those are pretty trash. But it is for 2 first-round picks. I think I'll do it for the first-round picks, yeah. And then, who else do I need to trade away? So I'm definitely not trading this guy. And I need to get rid of Vlatko for sure. Will I get anything good for him? Offering me a first round pick for that guy? I definitely want a first round pick for him. But so here's a little trick. So when you're pursuing a guy that's a free agent, what you can do is you can load up other teams with salary so that no one else has the money to sign for them. Because the more trades you make, the less likely people are to trade with you. So you can get screwed over. This happens all the time, where you're making trades to trade down in salary to sign a free agent that's like an 80 overall or whatever. And then they're like, I don't want to sign with you anymore. I'm worried about getting traded away. But then what you can do is, if you're the only team that has enough money to sign them, then you can advance days, and guys get more and more desperate to sign with someone as the free agent period goes on. And then eventually they'll agree to sign with you. So that's what I'll do. So there's 3 teams that have enough money. This one is like way under the cap. So I'm going to load up the Las Vegas Blue Chips with salary. And what I do, maybe there's a faster way to do this. If there is, let me know in the comments. But what I do is I go to League Finances. I see who is the lowest payroll. I click on them. I bring up a random player, not one that I can trade for, and I go trade for, and I unselect them. And then I'm trading with this team that I want to trade for. Basically, I'm forcing the AI to like, hey, I want to make a deal with this team. I'm going to load you up with salary. So I want to get rid of this guy. I want to get rid of... Actually, will you just take him for free? No, so this guy is so bad that they won't even take him for free. So I want to get rid of this guy. And then they're almost to over 60 million. And I want to get rid of this guy. So what would you give me for those 3? You would give me a second round pick and a young 57 potential. That's not bad. I don't want that. Actually, no, I do want that. So this is a draft pick that hasn't played a year in the league yet, which means that you can cut them and not pay a salary cap penalty. Usually, if you cut guys, you have to pay them anyway. But if they're a draft pick that hasn't played a game in the league yet, you can cut them and it just removes them. So this is like a free roll kind of that it's offering me. And then if I do this, they'll be slightly under 60 million. So what if I give you this guy too? I just want you to take him so that I clear some space. Because then after this, I will be at 57 million and able to take them on. Yes, that's good. If a guy is under 53 potential, you really don't want them on your roster no matter what, because you can always just go into free agents and find someone with a 53 potential that's at a minimum contract. And if a guy is at minimum contract, you can still sign them if you have the roster space, no matter how much your salary is at. So that I'll repeat that using other words because I know that this is a lot of information. So so the max roster size is 15, I think. Yeah, 15. So you could have 14 players signed, so one open space. Even if your salary is like $200 million, you can still sign a free agent as long as it's on a minimum salary. So let's see. So this guy will now sign with me because I have the open space. I have the roster cap space. So sign. So now my team is worse than it was because I traded my good players for young players. But now probably if I advance time, my team's overall rating will get better because I have so many young players. Let's see if there's anyone else that I can sign. Ooh, 61 potential, 21 overall. I will sign that. And anyone else? On my last spot, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna advance time until after the free agent, and then all of these guys, their stats will update, and so I can find someone, see if there's like one, probably get like basically around a 57 potential, but with updated stats. So once I advance time here, you're gonna see a lot of pluses and minuses. Hopefully a lot of green, which means my player's getting better. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that's not bad. So -1 potential here, but Blake Coleman here got 5 points better. Chase Braun, my best player, still stayed at 68 overall. So that's not bad. You might notice that I'm not at all focusing on position. Position basically doesn't matter. Stats are what matter. So I'll be more specific. And I actually asked the author of the code about this specifically. Dumb Matter, who's wonderful. You should give him money by signing up for gold. Basically, the talents of your players are what matter. So say, for example, you have 5 wings who would be listed as a guard forward, a GF, which means like a 2-3 in basketball terms. There can be guard forwards that are so good at defending that they get the stats of a great interior defender as though they're a center, but they can do that from another position. So basically, as long as you're getting high overall players, you're going to be okay. You just want to make sure that your team has like 2 good perimeter players and probably 2 good interior defenders. Our team doesn't really have that yet, but I'm more focused on just getting players with a high overall than I am about like seeking out specific stats. You basically only do that if your team is like really imbalanced, like if you have 4 centers or 3 point guards and no interior defenders or something like that. So let's go back to free agents. Yeah, so as you can see here, now I can sign this 59 potential, which is great. And then, so the stats on my draft picks updated, 52 potential, that's really bad. So I'm going to release him because I can go in here and sign a much better player with that same roster space. Same here. So if I release this 54 potential, I can go into free agents and sign this 56 potential, which is a really, really small improvement. But, those things matter. Sometimes a second round draft pick can become a Hall of Fame level player. There was one player that in my league that I cut for roster space after drafting him, and he ended up as like a 80 overall Hall of Fame player. So I felt pretty bad about that one, but good job to that fake guy. What we also see here is that my first round draft pick just shot up to a 70 overall. So like I said, the ratings that it gives from the draft are very, very rough. They will dramatically change as soon as you go past the free agent period, as soon as they're drafted. So that's pretty good. So we have a 20-year-old with a 70 overall. So hopefully that guy pans out. So our team is still not in great shape to like win games, though. I'd say we'll probably be like a 40 to 45 win team. And if we make the playoffs, it'll be as a 7 or 8 seed. As you can see from our hype, it's gone down from starting the game at 0.8 to a 0.72. Let's see if we need to adjust the ticket price again. Yeah, looks like, well, I think that we'll win more games than it expects, so let's move our ticket price down a little bit. I'm being pretty min-maxy. You don't have to be this specific about it, but I want to make sure that I make as much money as possible. Let's see, is my attendance going up? No, it's going down. Ooh, my team is, our 10 and 15, we're not doing so well. I'm just going to set it at 50 and advance. See if our attendance is still going up. Our hype is stabilizing a bit. Our team did not perform quite as well. 39 wins, 8th seed. So pretty shitty. We forced them to seven games though. Oh shit. I filled up my space because I have 2 leagues. Oops. Well, ripped my Atlanta game to my Atlanta league. 419 years that I made it in that one without getting fired. So yeah, let's delete that one. Damn, that sucks. Okay. Let's see if we can go through the playoffs now. Okay, so again, Chance is the only one of our guys to make an all-league team. Our rookie didn't make the all-rookie team? I guess his potential is really high, but his overall is still really low. I doubt that I'll be able to trade for this pick. Oh, no. We actually really do want to do this. So this guy, basically, if a guy is on a max contract and below a 70, you want to trade him. And I don't feel bad about that because remember that this is the guy that I just signed off of as a free agent. So I kind of got him for free because I didn't have to trade for him. Like I traded away some other players, but I got a return on that. So now I can trade him because I know for a fact, almost for a fact, because he's 24 already with a potential below 70. So I'm going to trade the guy that I know will never be like an all-time great for a guy that might be an all-time great. You know, it could happen. So let's see. So I'll keep hitting this would make this deal work button. And, you know, I think I'm going to go for this. So this is too much money that I'm taking on. So I'll uncheck that. So he's giving me the current first round pick, which is 48, 70, 71 potential, which is a decent first round pick. And a future first round pick. And then for salary, these two guys, this guy I'll trade away for sure. So I'll do this. And then let's take this first round pick. And then made 2 other first round picks. I think this one is one that I got for trading away a guy to make space on my roster. Definitely want to re-sign the guy with the 71 potential. And then these are scrubs. Basically, if a potential is below 60, I don't re-sign. Because you need the space. And especially here, let's see. Ooh. This is current free agents. This is a really, really good free agent. 76 potential. God damn. Okay. Andre Fuller, hopefully soon, I will be welcoming you to the team. So we just need to make a few trades to free up space so that this can happen. So we just got this 59 overall old guy on a huge contract. So we're not going to get much for him asking in the trading block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find who is the lowest payroll and load them up with salary so that they're not a competitor in case that guy changes his mind, doesn't want to sign with me anymore. So they're offering me a 61 potential for that guy. And here's something I always do. So like, okay, I'll do this. Well, can you give me 2 second-round picks? No. Can you give me 1 second-round pick? No. Okay, well, you always check. So this is going to save me $29 million, and I get a young guy that's like 61 potential. That's like a late first-round pick caliber prospect, except he's 23. He's a decent player already, 51. So now I just need to clear, I think, like 10 million more. Let's see. He's asking for just under the max. So sorting by contract here. So now I need to get rid of this guy. Let's see. And I often sort by age when I go to trading block to find the guys to get rid of. So again, I'm going to load up teams to above $60 million because then they'll be unable to sign this guy. So what will he give me for Richard McCormick? Says he will give me 2 second-round picks and a 65 potential 20-year-old. That is delightful. The AI will not trade you more than 2 picks. I checked the code. It's actually in the code. They will not trade you more than 2 picks. Maybe there's some exceptions, but like I was actually curious because I'm taking a CS class right now, so I checked the code and there's something about that in there. But again, correct me in the comments if I misread that. So now there's 2 other teams that could potentially sign that guy. So let's load them up with salary with slightly older players. What will you give me for a 60-62? You will give me 2 22-year-olds. Sounds good to me. Will you give me second round picks also? You will give me 2 second round picks. That's why you always check that. So finances, I'm slightly under, slightly above where I need to be. But I also have too many people on my roster to sign him. So I need to dump some players. What about this guy? Well, for this guy, I'd just give me a second round pick. So then I clear a roster spot, clear some salary. And then this guy, I think I just traded with them already. What do you give me? Will you give me 2 second round picks for this guy? No. Will you give me 1 second round pick? What? Bullshit. What will you give me for him? Give me a 57? Yeah, sounds good to me. So now if I go to my roster, I'm 2 over. So yeah, all I need to do is clear roster space. Now I'm going to go into trading block and I'm going to select 4 players. And I'm going to try to trade these 4 players for 1 player because then, so I'm 2 over right now. So this will bring me to 1 under, which is the 1 space that I need to get the guy that I'm trying to sign. Okay, so these 4 players for that 1 player, that's a pretty shitty deal. I'm not doing that. Even with this, I always try to find good value on every single trade that I do. So what's the worst of these teams that's offering me a second round pick? Okay, will you give this to me for 1 player? No. Will you give it to me for 2? Will you give it to me for 3? Okay, you actually do want all 4 players for it. That's fine. So now I'm under the cap. I have 2 open ones. If I wanted to, I could be like really, really, really min-maxy and advance this a few days because I know that no one else can sign him. But I don't feel like it. I'm just going to sign him. And now I have 1 open roster spot, 9.16 left, and there's a 63 potential 21-year-old. So yeah, give me that guy for sure. So we started the game. We had 1 decent player and a bunch of old guys. So we still don't have a good team, but we're getting there because we have a 76 potential, which is outstanding. We have a 71 potential that we started with. That's our chances still our best player. And we have a 70 potential. So let's advance past free agent and give me some green arrows. That's a lot of red arrows. That really sucks. It's a lot of red arrows. Let's see what happened. Okay. So chance is 26 and already starting to get worse. Oofta. So we're going to trade this guy. We're going to trade Chance next season, I think. Kind of good news is Andre is now a 70 overall, but our team, we got some bad rolls on that one. That's not great. Yeah, this guy, 23 years old, took a -9 hit to his potential. This guy that I was so excited about, 14th pick, took a -7 hit to his potential. Ew. Yeah, that was not the best rolls I've ever seen, for sure. But we'll be okay. So, I forgot. Let's see how our finances are doing. So, our hype is still going down. It's not good. So I'll just leave it alone. Maybe we'll make an 8th seed again. Yeah, our team kind of sucks. But because we're still around salary cap, we're not losing like too much money. Oh, 7 seed. 7 seed at a losing record? Okay, whatever. This is a shitty conference, damn. Again, took a much better team to 7 games, but, whatever. But the good news is we no longer just have a 3rd team all-league guy. We have a 2nd team all-league guy. I mean, we had a good rookie this season, so we do have a young core, so hopefully we get some better roles next year. So let's go to the draft. We had 1 first-round pick to not end up in the lottery. Can we trade for this 72? We're not trading that guy. How about anyone else? No. Still so upset about Chance not panning out. Oh well. So we'll just take whoever the AI thinks are the best players for us. I will... Do I re-sign this guy? It's like borderline whether to re-sign or not. Let's see. The upcoming free agents, there's no one like super exciting, so I'll re-sign him, let these guys go. Let's see. Yeah, 67 potential, which is like fine, but at 21 million, not super excited to do that. And now, so the older a player gets, the less he's worth in the trade market. So for 67 overall, as much as it sucks to give up who's now our 2nd best player, we need to maximize the value that we're going to get from Chance. So I'm going to trade him away now. Basically, it's kind of arbitrary, but as soon as someone falls below 70, I look to trade them. We are getting some really good offers, though. Wow. So we could get a 69 overall and a first-round pick, or a 69 potential, or a 67 potential and 2 first-round picks. But this team is terrible. What's their overall ranking? So they have a team rating of 30. This one has a team rating of 49. So this pick from Chicago is going to end up better, like a higher chance of winning the lottery. We're also getting offered a 70 potential here. That's going to win it for me. Will you give me anything else? No. Fuck out of here. Will you give me 2 second-round picks? No. Give me 1 second-round pick? No. Okay. Fair enough. We got another 70 potential. And here, yeah, I'm not looking to sign any of those free agents, so I'll just skip past that. Hey, we got some green arrows this time. So Andre really panned out. And remember that this is the guy that we traded a bunch of guys to sign, and now he's at a 77 overall, which is insanely good. So the threshold that I'm looking to cut, probably 55 and below I cut. So cut you. The italics means that you can cut them for free without having to pay their salary. Wow, this guy updated to a 72 potential. So now we have 1, 2, still three guys with a 70 potential or more. And no old guys on the team, which is good. We're at 2 over on roster. So let's go here, sort by potential, and see if we can trade 3 of our worst players for 1 good one. Actually, let's trade away this guy because he's making $9 million. Anyone offering anything good here? That sucks. Let's just force a trade with whoever has the lowest payroll in the league. So let's give you these 3. What do you give me for them? You give me a second? Give me a shitty thing. Will you give me just for that? No. You give me for that? Okay, that's fine. And then what about free agents? Anyone decent left? I'll sign this 49 overall, 57 potential. Yeah, let's do that. So now our team rating is 61, which is the best we've had so far. If I go into power rankings, now I'm a top 10 team in the league. So now we can actually start competing for the playoffs. So now we're going to go through this season pretty slow. And as our hype increases, increase the ticket price. And I'm really going to be min-maxy with the amount of cash that we're taking in. So let's go 1 week. So the attendance is increasing. So let's take it up to 51. See if... our hype isn't moving up too fast yet. Now it is. So now let's go to 53. Attendance is still increasing. Let's go to 55. Looks like it stayed even there. Attendance is increasing again. Let's go to 57. So now our hype is 0.75. Attendance is increasing again. Let's go to 59. And now our hype is the highest it's ever been in our team's history. I don't care about this. Okay, still going up. 63. Still going up. 65. Still staying the same. Let's try 67. So it's starting at 64,376. And then if we go here, so now we're at max hype. Let's try 69 ticket price. Nice. And see if, so 24,438. And then let's see if this works. We seem to be pretty close to capping out with our ticket price. Let's do that. Let's just sim through the playoffs. So we crushed our first round and lost in the conference finals. And we have the MVP now because we signed him off the free agent block. Nice. So we got MVP, who's also the defensive player of the year. So it's pretty good. How much money did we make that year? So we made, oh my God, we made $47 million. Our owner is so happy with that. This draft is terrible. Wow. So if there's a 70 or more, that's like a pretty good draft. If there's no player that's 70 or more in the draft potential, it's pretty shitty. So let's sign the guys that have over 60 potential. I mean, yeah, over 60 potential. Free agency. How good is this free agent market? Not that great. Again, no one over 70 potential. So let's see, is there anyone that I need to trade away? Sort by age. Could see dumping these guys. Yeah, let's dump these guys. See, can I get any good trades for them? So a 54 and a 57 potential and being offered a 59, but he's 27 years old. I'm not going to get anything like amazing for this. Being offered a first round pick though. Oh, 64 potential? Hell yes, give me that. Brandon Roy. A young player named Brandon Roy? Why? I hope that man stays healthy. Okay. So now we're 2 over the roster, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks in the draft because we made a lot of trades for second round picks. So I'm going to advance through free agency and cut the ones that suck. So you're gone. You're gone. And now I'm at even roster and I want to keep all these guys. What happens? So Andre's a little bit worse, but he was MVP, so still not bad. Next season we're going to be trading away McAllis because he seems to be declining. But oh wow, Mo Williams, again a real player name, took a plus 10 potential. That is not bad. So that's our only good prospect looking forward. Which I guess this one's okay. Jake Lewis. Kind of worried about our lineup in terms of playmaking. Yeah. Free agents. Considering whether I want to trade away Josh Schultz here. Let's see if I can get anything good for him. Any chance I could get like a point guard? No, I'm just gonna stick with this. Our team rating's at a 71. Wrong button. So we're rated as the 3rd best team in the league, but Phoenix is really strong right now. They have a 70 overall and 3 guys with above a 60 in their starting lineup, so that's pretty strong. Again, I'm going to go through this pretty slowly because I want to find the maximum ticket price that that I can charge at a hype of 1, and then probably for the rest of the game when I'm playing this, I'm just going to leave the ticket price alone. You only have to do this tedious shit with setting the ticket price kind of once per dynasty to find out what the max ticket price that you can charge is. So let's see. 69.5 seems a little bit too high, so let's go back to a 69. I think 69 is probably going to be the highest we can do, so I'm just going to leave it there. Maybe let's go to 68.5, and I'll just leave it there. And then we'll just sim. So as I thought, our team is like pretty good. Definitely a strong playoff team, but not like amazing. If I go to our roster, oh wow, our center is averaging almost 8 assists a game. So nice to have Nikola Jokic as our center with a 36 PER. God damn, this guy is a monster. So this guy is probably getting MVP again. One of our starters is injured during the playoffs though, so we might actually wash out pretty early. Let's see what happened. Was our guy still hurt there? Yeah, so we had an injury, but so did they. But that's about what I expected. I said going in that Phoenix had a really strong team, and what do you know? What do you know? We lost to Phoenix, so makes sense. So we're increasing our ratings. This means that if we do like 1 year of running over the cap, we won't like automatically lose the game. 74. This is a strong draft because there's a 74 potential at the number 1. So let's see if we can trade for it. I do not think I want to give you the 26-year-old MVP of the league for a pick. I will not trade a 75 potential for a 74 potential. And then he's going to say, can't afford it. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes they'll trade the first overall pick for like a random starter, which I don't understand, but gotta accept it when it happens. So I'll re-sign the one guy that's over 60 potential. Basically with the guys that are in the potential range of 60 to 70, you want to re-sign them, but then you want to flip them the next season. If I had been playing really well, I would have checked to see if there was like a really good free agent, because sometimes there's, like an 85 overall 22-year-old that's an available free agent, so you don't want to sign anyone because you want to make sure that you have the cap room to sign them and not risk losing them. But this guy's pretty old. If this was a young player, I would be slobbering over it, but at a 28-year-old, he's already on the downturn of his career, and I don't want to trade away too many guys to free up salary for it. Like I said, I'm definitely trading away McAllis, though, because he's only a 60 overall and near a max contract, which is not what I'm looking for. So I could trade him for picks, or I could trade him. There's a 67 potential young guy there. Let's do that. Give me anything more for him and a 63. Nice. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, wow. Well, okay. Maybe I should have hit the even up the trade one more time. Okay, who else do I want to trade away? So I have a 24-year-old, 61 potential, making 17 mil. Get out of here. No one is super excited to trade for this guy, which, I mean, fair enough. This team will give me a first for him, though. I think I'm just going to do a shortcut and kind of save some time. I'll just dump him for a second round pick. Well, shit, maybe I will be able to clear up enough space to sign this guy. So if I can clear 22 million, that I can sign him. No, we're not doing that. I will trade this guy. 69 potential. Goddamn. Okay. Yes, please. Don't want that guy. I do want your second round picks, though. 1 second round pick? No. Okay. Now we're in good shape. Let's... Do I want to do more trades? No, let's just advance here. So you notice I'm keeping the one like guy that has at least a 70 overall because he's literally the MVP of the league. I'm not gonna trade away the MVP for no reason. Not that I've never traded the reigning MVP, but usually you don't want to. Let's see, anyone free agent left that's strong contender? There's a 58 potential. Could see trading for. Could see signing that guy. So let's trade away these guys. How am I looking here? Usually don't want to select that many, so kind of a mistake. Yeah, so like I'm getting shitty offers because the AI sees these as literal negatives. So I'm just gonna dump them to a team with a lot of open salary. So if I go like, what do you give me for these? Give me jack shit. What about that? There you go. So let's just dump a bunch of players to create some open roster spots, get a second round pick, and now I'm going to sign a couple more. So it's like I got something for nothing because I freed up roster space, got a second round pick, and then actually signed better players off of here. And this guy will actually be a decent backup for me. And I'm way under the cap, so I have a competitive team in the playoffs without even being at the salary cap, which is really good because I'm making sure to trade my guys basically as soon as I sign them to big contracts unless they're amazing. Okay, so if I go to power rankings, now I'm the second best team in the league, barely worse than the Phoenix Vultures. And this guy gives me a lot of freedom in having a roster because he has playmaking skills, so I don't need a point guard. That's why you focus on having high overall players rather than, what position do people play. I mean, when your center is super Jokic, like, you can do a lot. Oh no, he got hurt. Yeah, we definitely are lacking in playmaking, though, which is hurting our offense a lot. But our defense is phenomenal, so. Ah, got upset. Damn. That happens. Definitely need a second guy to go along with Super Jokic. Let's see, it's going to say, trade me the MVP. I'm not trading you the MVP. Well, then I'm not trading with you. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I have 2 open roster spots. Are there any good players upcoming? Ooh. Ooh, hello. So this guy's a 23-year-old, 76 potential, and there's a 23-year-old, 75 potential. So I'm considering just not re-signing anyone. Is that smart? So if I re-sign one of these players, will I still have enough room? I don't think I will, not unless I get rid of Super Jokic. So I'm just going to not re-sign anyone. Trade away 50s rock icon Jerry Lewis. Maybe Simpsons creator Matt Groening. Yeah, I'm not gonna re-sign these guys, which kind of sucks. Usually I would, but I'm targeting a free agent. So, bye. And they're only asking, wow, they're only asking 20 million. Holy shit. Holy shit. Can I get both of them? I wonder if I can. Sign you for fucking sure. And then, let's see if I go sort by age. Not trading that guy. Actually, sort by contracts. Trade away Jerry Lewis. Will you... I don't want your expensive guy. Just want your young guy. Will you give me this? Well, of course, you're just going to say, give me a first? No. You give me 2 seconds? Yeah. And then I need to clear 18 million more in salary. Is that going to be possible? Ugh. Let's see. Maybe. Probably not, though. So can't trade him. I don't really want to try to trade a. It's worth it for that 75 potential, though. God damn. Oh, right. He's only asking for 20 million. That's right. This is easy. Don't offer me that guy. Just give me... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Yeah, see, three second rounds, it doesn't work. But you can go... Am I going to be lazy about this? Yeah, fine, I'll be lazy. I probably could have gotten more second round picks, but whatever. I'm just trying to prove the strategy here. So just targeting players with over 70 potential and then hanging on to players with over 70 overall. Okay, so that was a good free agent period for me. God damn. Let's advance past that, and then I'll fill out my roster with minimum salary guys. My bench is kind of weak. I only have like 8 players with over 50 overall. So if there's an injury, I'm kind of screwed. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to sign an older player with a 53 overall and then fill it out with one more 55 potential young guy. So now I have a team rating of 96, which is insane for having a payroll barely over the salary cap. So if I go at power rankings, I am 21 rating above the next highest one. So hopefully now we can win our first championship. It might look like an awkward starting lineup because I have 3 forward centers, And maybe it is. So maybe what I'll actually do is I'll unsort, auto sort that, and put in a point guard there. I'm not sure why it likes Malik over CJ there. Someone can let me know if you know why it does this. My guess is maybe that the game knows that this overall is fake. Like that this overall is my scouting department making a mistake. Because the overall in potential that you see is like slightly off from what it really is. So, I'm going to, yeah. But I'll put him in. I have a ton of bigs already. I already have all four of my other players have the DI tag, which means they're good defenders of the interior. And these guys, you can look at the tags that they have. So Super Jokic is an athlete, unlike real Jokic. Sorry, I shouldn't besmirch Jokic like that. So let's see if we can win a championship now. If I was being really finicky, I would go into finances and find the exact decimal at 68 that maximizes my income. Actually, let's do that. Let's is it 68.4? Let's try 68.4. It's probably 68.4. Okay. So now we're cruising through the league. Oh no! Super Jokic got hurt. Oh, he tore his ACL. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. See, this is why real life Jokic can't be an athlete. It's too risky. So, I doubt that I'll be able to win a championship without it. Wait, actually, even with our best player getting hurt, our roster is still so good that we still have the best roster in the league. Wow, that's crazy. And we win our championship, and I get the faux achievement, which means I did not lose a game in the playoffs. Wait. Andre Ebner? Oh, right, I have multiple Andres on my team. I got confused. Yeah, so this is the team of Andres. So Andre Ebner is my shooting guard. Andre Fuller is Super Jokic. Yeah. So we won our first championship. Let's go to the draft. It's gonna ask for one. We have a bunch of good prospects. I'm not. You know what? Let's just see. I'm not trading you that guy. I'm not trading you that guy either. I'm not trading you that guy. Of course, you can't afford to give up so much. So now I think I'm going to wrap up this video soon. I'm just going to re-sign my 3 70-plus potential guys. Decision of whether I want to re-sign that guy. It just depends on whether I have a guy that I want to trade away, which I don't think I do. So I'll just let him go, which is unfortunate, but bye-bye. So going forward here, as you can see, it's going to be pretty easy. So I have 5 guys with over a 70 potential, and then probably next year, not this one because I just re-signed him, but next year I would trade away Andre Fuller. You know what? I'll keep playing just to show how you transition from kind of one era of your team to the next one, which is one of the most difficult parts of the game. So release him because he's less than 70 overall. Let's see if we can... those guys kind of suck. So see if I can just give them away to a team. Because if you give away players, then you don't have to pay the penalty of releasing them. So I'll just give them away. Great. So strictly better than releasing them. And if I go to free agents, there's a 57 potential minimum guy, so I'll sign him. And then I'll just sim this season. I just hope that Super Jokic doesn't get hurt again. So injuries can actually have permanent effects on the stats, and I think that it did. So if you have a long-term injury, like tearing your ACL, it will lower the stats of the player that it happens to. So our first team getting the septuagenarian achievement, which means I won 70 or more games, sim through the playoffs, and lose one game in the playoffs. I got the super team achievement for having 3 first teamers. Wow, I didn't have the MVP. And my GM is, sorry, I'm the GM. My owner is super happy with me. I'm not even going to bother trying to trade for a pick. Re-sign the 72 overall. So now I'm way over the cap, and so I'm going to have to trade away Andre. This guy wants 4 million, but cap. I mean, but I do have 2 guys that I want to trade away. Like I said, 70 is kind of my cutoff, so I'm going to be trading away the guy that fell below 70. It's arbitrary, but it's where I draw the line. You know, play around with it, see what works for you. Will I sign this guy? 60 potential. Yeah, I'll sign him. It should be okay on cap once I do my trades. So I'll trade away Super Jokic. Had a long, illustrious career with the team, but unfortunately, this is what you got to do. You just got to trade away your MVPs, your superstars, as soon as they're below 70 or getting too old. Actually, is he below 70? I can trade. I can keep him one more year, I think. This guy, I'm for sure trading. So they're giving me 2 firsts and that, but I would have to work out the salary. That's what this means. Like, you can't just automatically accept the trade. You'd have to work it out with the salary. Do I want this one? This is breaking that guy down into a first and then 2 other guys that I would have to trade. Maybe considering this one too. Let's push the button again, see what I get. See if I get offered any like really good prospects. Okay, here we go. So I'm getting offered a 70 overall. I really, as should be clear, that 70 is the magic number for me. So, and then I would trade away this guy too. So, no, I don't want that. Will you give me 2 seconds though? You give me 1 second? Yes, you will. So I traded for this old guy, and now I trade him away again. So this would be a salary dump where I would get a 57 potential, or I could just straight up salary dump and get a 2nd overall pick. Yeah, let's do that. Will you give me 2 seconds? No. Take that. And trading block. Anyone else I want to trade? I'm still considering trading Super Jokic, but I don't think so. I don't think I have to. So I'm a little bit high on payroll right now, so I'll probably lose a bit of money, but I'm okay with that. And then next year I'll definitely trade away Super Jokic. Oh, I've never seen that before. Oh. During preseason locker room interview, Rodrigue Vanny accidentally revealed he's Section 24. Holy shit, that's so funny. Oh my god, that's funny. You must have just added that in the last update. That is hilarious. Okay, let's dump some salary. Okay. I can't believe that. That is outstanding. Well done. I'm glad I gave this guy some money. Will you just take all these shitty players? Okay, thank you. So now I'm below salary cap, and I got a shitload of room on the roster. I don't want to sign anyone else. Yeah, I'll just run with 4 open roster slots. Let's see if I can win another championship here. Oops. $15-0. Oh, we finally lost a game. Damn. Oh, we finally have another playmaker. I guess Andre somehow just forgot how to pass. Weird. I retract the title Super Jokic from you. You are now just Andre Fuller. You're dead to me. You're not actually dead to me. You just led my team to 76 wins. Well, on a team that won 76 games. Faux. Oh, we lost a game. Okay. So we have our dynasty. Hopefully you can see what happens now. So what's going to happen? Going to trade away the guy that fell below 70 for young players and picks. Going to check the free agents. Except that I have so many good players, but like you can see that I have a dynasty set up here. So that's how you get your first dynasty. So if I go into history, we ended up winning 3 championships in a row after starting out with a pretty shitty roster. We didn't change anything and we won 39 games. But then eventually after I trade away Andre, he retires. Andre Fuller, formerly known as Super Jokic, no longer Super Jokic. I will be retiring that jersey. Me personally, what I like to do is any player that won my team a net and estimated wins added of 100 or more wins, I retire their jersey, which seems pretty harsh. Would mean like Chase Braun, my original good player, who was a 3-time All-Star, like didn't even get close to me retiring their jersey. But when you end up playing like hundreds and hundreds of seasons, you want to remember like kind of the best of the best, the former MVPs. So like Andre here, who won back-to-back-to-back MVPs, 3 times champion, has a cool mask, used to be a good passer before he forgot how. I'll be retiring that guy's jersey. So I haven't checked any other guides about like how to play this game. So this is all just stuff that I've kind of picked up on my own. There's a good chance I'm just wrong about half the stuff I'm doing, but let me know what you do differently. If you have a strategy that wins even more championships faster and you can do it on Insane, let me know what you do instead. But I hope for those of you who haven't played this game, gives you an introduction. You might want to check it out. Might want to give the creator of it some money. For those of you that have played around with it before, hope you learned something. So that'll do it. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.